Tiege.
And I'm Sam.
And we are your well-informed girlfriends.
Bringing you today's news, tips, and unsolicited hot takes. This week, we're talking about how the future of war could be killer robots.
No.
I know, dystopian. And then there's the impact of the Iranian war on certain bedroom-related goods.
What is that?
So condoms are being impacted. Yeah, not just gas prices, everyone.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's crazy. And then also why law breaking in the U.S. is on the rise.
Law breaking in the U.S.?
Yeah.
As if we need more trouble.
More trouble at home.
Yeah. We're also talking about hetero-flexibility, a new term on the rise. Pretty interesting. We're talking about passport bros going abroad to find a wife, which sounds to me like an episode of 90 Day Fiance.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I'm in. And we're also talking about a new dating term, grim keeping. Ooh, interesting. Plus, we have a very special treat today. Jack in the Box sent us some goodies. And so we will be doing a special surprise unboxing together.
Yay.
Can you believe our luck?
I know. We love Jack in the Box. Thank you for this gift.
Yeah.
And cool. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
Okay. So we should probably start with the most serious story that just happened last night, Saturday night. Gunshots interrupted the White House Correspondents' Dinner at a Washington hotel, and agents had to rush President Donald Trump away from the stage. The president, of course, unharmed. Authorities caught the suspect right before he could enter the ballroom where the dinner was being held, but it's still a developing story. And since we're recording this on Sunday afternoon, we don't want to give you any more information that might be outdated by Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy story. I'm sure we'll learn a lot in the next few days, weeks, and months. But yeah, be sure to check your regular, reliable news outlets on that one for the latest. So, okay, what's the story about killer robots?
Okay,
Please.
this is so interesting. And basically, this article from the New York Times asks, what if wars could be fought without any soldiers on the front lines? Ukraine is testing these unmanned ground robots. And so they're basically like small remote controlled vehicles packed with explosives or guns or rockets, and they go in and attack Russian positions.
Okay.
And so, for example, one operation, robots and aerial drones work together to storm a trench, leading Russian soldiers to surrender without any physical Ukrainian troops advancing. It was just the robots.
So the robots were going after humans, though?
Yeah.
Okay,
so like the Russians were in a trench and the Ukrainians had like, robots on the ground and then also drones flying in the air, and they routed the Russians.
That is not fair. Like, robots against humans should never be a fight that we're doing. If you want to do robot versus robot, but then it's also like, what are we doing? Were we playing with toys? Like, this is insane to me.
Sure. I mean, the argument here is that Ukrainian troops have faced troop shortages, and obviously Russia, I think we can all kind of agree, unfairly invaded Ukraine.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the justification for it.
For sure.
But Zelensky is saying that it's better to throw metal than people into the fire.
I agree.
It's better to have the robots be destroyed, for example, than like a human. So, but it's not like fully robotic warfare yet. The humans still have to hold the territory, and a lot of the machines like get destroyed within a day or something.
Yeah.
So
I just think it's really, I just feel like it's a slippery slope, right? Because if all countries start using robots, then it becomes like robots versus robots. And then
wouldn't that be better than people dying?
Of course. Yeah, of course. But then like, what are the stakes anymore? Like how do you decide who wins the territory? Like what robot gets to the end? It's just like, it feels like a very weird way of fighting. But I guess if that's the world we're living in.
Yeah, I don't know. And when you think about it, like we've been using drone warfare since the 2000s. So yeah, I guess who's to say what is war anymore?
What is
war?
But
back in the day, they used to advance with like spears or whatever. So it's just another development of technology. I don't know. I don't have a hot take on that necessarily, but I guess it's better than humans dying.
You are right. And look, I will say, I don't think it's right for humans to fight in wars. So I guess it makes sense.
That's fair. That's a fair take.
Yeah. Okay. Our next story is very interesting. Law breaking, specifically micro looting, is on the rise in the US.
What is micro looting?
So micro looting, if you don't know, basically it was all broken down on a recent episode of a New York Times podcast. A writer admitted that she has been shoplifting from Whole Foods. Not like in a desperate survival kind of way, but like in it's a giant corporation who cares kind of way. So on its face, it's a pretty small story, right? Petty theft, pocket change, literally like lemons. But then The Atlantic wrote an article that zooms out and says, hold on, This isn't really about just petty theft. It's actually about something deeper and
Mm.
weirder happening now that people are talking about morality, right?
Yeah.
So the term that came up in the conversation is micro looting, which sounds almost cute, you know? It's like a
It's
little
like a fun term.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle brand, like something you'd see on a tote bag.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point, right? The argument goes like if corporations are huge, rich, and already stealing from workers or consumers, then taking a little back isn't just harmless. It might even be or feel justified, or at least not worth worrying about. Because once you start reframing theft as trivial or even morally acceptable, depending on the target, you're not just criticizing capitalism anymore. You're redrawing boundaries of what counts as wrong. So that's kind of like the problem here.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, petty theft seems like, oh, like not a big deal. Like maybe I rang up my organic cucumber as non-organic and I feel like I won and like the corporation I get to stick it to the man.
Yeah.
But like if people start doing this in mass, then it becomes a really big problem. And there is obviously trickle down. Like and we've seen this in the past few years when looting and stealing has become a little bit more prevalent. Now things are locked up. Now you end up paying actually way more for goods if multiple people are stealing because it costs more to put those things on the shelves. So I do think it's really interesting. I think, you know, the idea of micro looting seems like a funny thing, but I think if it becomes a trend, it's a problem. Also, I do feel like I think I have a theory on this as well.
Oh my God, what's your theory?
Can I give you my theory?
I want to hear it.
I think it's because so much corruption is so blatantly obvious and in the public eye now. You know, we see corruption happening every day. We see the government getting involved in Wall Street bets and we see, you know, insider trading happening every day. And so I feel like when someone goes to Whole Foods and rings up their organic celery as non-organic celery, it feels like a little win for them because it's like, oh, look, these people are literally robbing us blind every day. I'm paying mass amounts of tax dollars while the rich are paying nothing in taxes.
Literally.
So I do feel like that might have something to do with it. But
yeah.
What do you think?
You know, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say that. I kind of see where people are coming from, honestly. And obviously, I'm not saying to steal from Whole Foods. Don't steal from anywhere, probably. But like,
No.
The reality is I can understand because everything has gotten slightly shittier, I think, as time goes on. Like your clothes are cheaper, the food has more hormones in it, and everything is plastic, whatever. Like everything has gotten slightly worse.
Yeah.
And it's kind of because the people at the top have figured out that you can make it slightly worse and we'll still pay for it because we don't have an option. And so when you go to the store and you are frustrated by the situation and you take a single lemon, or like maybe you walk out and you forget to scan the Waterloo in the bottom of your cart.
Yeah.
You're like, well, it was an accident, but I don't really want to go back.
Yeah.
And I guess I get it. Like, I'm not even going to act like I haven't accidentally stolen something from the store in that exact example. Like, and I have to admit that I didn't go back and I probably should have, but it's like the parking lot's so busy and all that stuff. But still, it's kind of like, well, I mean, I see what Jeff Bezos is spending his money on. I'm like, I don't think he'll miss this $7 or whatever.
Right. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. It's definitely, you can never justify things like that. Also, like, I feel like things like that become like, I don't know. If you do it once, you do it again, and then
it is a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope.
But it's like, I think the world is feeling a sort of crisis of morality right now because we thought that we were all working towards the greater good. And I think it's become increasingly evident to many of us that is maybe not everyone's goal. And so it's this sort of nihilism that's ubiquitous right now. I think a lot of us are feeling it. We're feeling unsettled. It's economic uncertainty. It's the post-optimism energy of America. And I think that, I don't know, I could rant about this forever, but I just think that that's kind of where that's coming from.
Yeah. Very interesting.
For sure.
Micro-looting. And especially, I mean, think about micro-looting is probably easier than ever for people because of all the self-checkouts now too.
Well, I don't know if this is happening at all the stores you go to, but a lot of them that I go to don't have self-checkout anymore because there were too many abuses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like the main Target over on La Brea. Sorry.
Wow.
They're like not allowing you to self-checkout anymore because too many people were stealing.
Wow. That's wild. No, my Whole Foods still has self-checkout, so I always do that.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah. You can scan the produce now too. too, which is nice at Whole Foods, I think.
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
slick. Instead of having to look it up. Wow.
Yeah.
Advancements in technology, you guys, is crazy.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
And we're moving on.
Okay, sorry. The war in Iran is impacting our wallets at the pump, but also in the bedroom.
Whoa.
According to the New York Times, the world's largest condom maker is raising prices 30%.
What?
Yeah, it's Carex, which produces 1 in 5 condoms globally, says the Iran war is disrupting oil, shipping, and key materials like rubber and chemicals.
Wow.
So some of their costs have doubled, and if supply chains get worse, shortages and even panic buying could be next.
Wow. Panic buying for condoms?
It's a little funny, but it's also not
People
because
are
a lot of people use that. Panic buying condoms. They're not yet. That I said it could be next, but like, yes, that is one of the ways we probably clearly did not think about how this war in Iran was going to impact that. But
that's interesting. I mean, what did we do? I think last week we talked about how tampon prices are also on the rise because of the Iran war as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think we're going to see, especially if this war continues and the Strait is continued to be like a little bit slower, we're probably going to see prices rise for multiple things. So this is just one of those things we're going to probably see. But wow, interesting. Panic buying. Oof.
Everyone get your condoms now. No, I'm kidding. Okay, this next story I do want to talk about because I feel like we've sort of seen it just on the internet for a while.
Yeah.
But this week I read this article that really hit the nail on the head. Okay, so some Western men are saying that dating apps are so bad that they're moving to other countries to find wives. And they're fed up with like modern women who want these egalitarian relationships, and so these men are calling themselves passport bros, and they're going to places like Thailand or the Philippines where they say women are more traditional and attentive to their needs.
Yeah, they actually like just like need them more, but okay, keep going.
Yeah, okay. So I mean, I should preface this by saying, obviously, this is based on a lot of like kind of harmful stereotypes of Asian women.
Yeah.
And, you know, non-Asian, just any Black and brown women too in general. Like they're going to not just Asia. But the example cited in this article specifically was about how one man moved to Thailand, got engaged, now posts viral videos of his fiance doing things like clipping his nails.
Ew.
Anyways, and his mostly male audience is in awe of this, obviously. But critics, including me, to be clear, I'm including myself in this criticism. This mindset does lean on offensive stereotypes, especially the idea that women who are Asian are also inherently more submissive.
Yeah.
First of all, have you met any Asian women? Like, that's actually not true at all, but okay. And it can blur into exploitation because they're obviously much wealthier men, usually white, going into these countries that are generally slightly less developed. And so that also can create a power imbalance in the actual relationship too.
Of course.
Even if both people say they're choosing the relationship. And I don't want to yuck anybody's yum. Like if you've got yellow fever, fine, whatever. But like realistically, you do have to be cognizant of all of this. And going there for someone who's a submissive is I don't love that. I actually hate it, to be honest.
It feels kind of like the stereotype of like a mail order bride.
Yes, it's kind of a modern mail order bride, I would say.
It's interesting. Look, I love 90 Day Fiance and I love any international love story. I love it so much. But this is what you typically see in these episodes is like men who want to feel like the hero in a relationship go and feel like they're like saving a woman who maybe doesn't have, you know, a ton of money or like have, you know, things figured out in a super developed
classic,
country.
Like white savior situation.
Exactly. And that's kind of like what you see a lot in these stories, especially on 90 Day Fiance. So I do think it's interesting. Look, I think if you find love in a hopeless place, then that's great. You know, I think if you find love in an international country, it's awesome.
Sure.
I'm supportive of that. But I do think it's annoying when they're like, oh, I can't find a woman here because everybody here wants equal, you know, egalitarian relationships. It's like, yeah,
work on yourself, man.
Yeah. Like what? That's crazy, but interesting.
I know.
More 90 Day Fiance, I guess.
Great.
I'll take it.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
Passport bros. I love that they're like rebranding it as like a
bro thing.
A bro thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Mail order bride's gotten a rebrand, I guess.
Okay, we are so excited. Jack in the Box, one of my favorite places in the entire world, is celebrating a big birthday this year. 75 years old.
Yeah, and he doesn't look a day over
one.
You know, he's killing it. So they're doing a special, and they sent us some munchie meals to enjoy. And if you order it, you can get a surprise cup
Oh my gosh.
that you can do like an unboxing of. Isn't that so fun?
There's nothing that I love more than a Jack in the Box, 2, a surprise.
Yes,
Are
I
you
know.
kidding me?
We love to see it.
Yeah, so basically what these Jack in the Box surprise cups have is they have these pins that can actually unlock awards, which I think is really cool, these rewards in the app, and you can actually win up to $75,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I could really use $75,000.
I know, me too. And then, you know what I would do? Buy more Jack in the Box.
Yes, we love.
They have these like rare gold pins that can actually score you an instant $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah. So next time you go to Jack in the Box, make sure you try to get that surprise cup as a part of this big promotional thing that they're doing.
Heck yeah.
And we just want to thank Jack in the Box so much because we have these incredible munchie meals I have already been diving into.
Yeah.
And
we were like unpacking it to set up and T's like munching away.
Oh my gosh. Because we also got the egg rolls, which I love. Do you want to know my Jack in the Box order?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay. So it's late on a Friday or Saturday night and I fire up my Postmates app and I order promptly 4 tacos.
Okay.
Because they come in packs of 2. Obviously, you get 4. If you don't need them all, you can fire them up the next day. They're still great. Even better, actually. And then I get egg rolls.
Okay.
The jumbo egg rolls. Incredible.
Jumbo.
3 in one little pack. It's the best.
Okay.
And then finally, I finish off with a mini churro. The mini churros
I love
are
the mini churros.
maybe the best thing on the menu. They're
Truly,
incredible.
I agree.
Yeah.
And like they never stop being delicious.
They never stop being delicious. Even if they're cold, like they're good no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know what? And we have air fryers now. I'm just thinking about this.
Yeah.
You could reheat them in the air fryer and they'd be amazing.
Absolutely.
So anyways, Jack in the Box, thank you. Per
Yes.
usual. We love you guys. And yeah, if you head over there, get those surprise cups.
What a fun treat to do like a blind bag style reveal.
I know, right?
Yeah. It's
Unboxing.
kind of like 90s.
It is. It is kind of. I love that.
It's like a little surprise.
A little surprise gift.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we love it and we love you, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Speaking of Jack in the Box.
Oh, speaking of Jack in the Box and the key to happiness.
Yes, exactly.
There has been a lot of discussion recently about the key to happiness online. People are talking about what is the key to happiness to you. And so I figured it might be an interesting discussion for us to have today.
Yeah.
And I guess I could start with my theory on what the key to happiness is.
Yes. Here we
then
go.
We can hear your thoughts.
I am seated. Let's hear it.
I feel like I have recently been doing a little bit of work with children. I wrote a children's book.
Yeah.
And so I went to a school recently and I have to say, like, I'm never around kids. We live in LA and like, I just never see children.
Yeah.
And I have to say it was so refreshing to be in a classroom full of kids because they were full of excitement.
Yeah.
And after I was reflecting on this day in the classroom, I was like, oh my God, I think that's the key to happiness is being excited about things. You think about puppies or kids, they are always excited about something.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like the key to happiness is excitement. Like if you can find little things in your day that you're excited about, whether it's, you know, taking a bath and watching 90 Day Fiance or going to Jack in the Box and getting some churros, you know, just being excited about things, that anticipation to me is the key to happiness. Like when I'm happy, I am excited about things. Even if it's little things, I think that's the key to happiness to me. So what do you think?
I totally agree. And I've been saying this for a while. I had this talk with my husband the other day. I think that he has sort of lost that childlike sense of wonder. And this isn't talking behind his back. Like he kind of knows that. He's a very, you know, introspective, like thinking kind of person.
Yeah.
And I'm not a not thinker, you know?
Yeah.
That's a double negative. I'll think.
She thinks.
I think. I have thoughts. But I also think that like sometimes I'm much more prone to doing something spontaneous and just like going out and having fun or I mean, and that doesn't have to mean drinking or whatever. It could be going to Jack in the Box, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's like I sort of have, or getting a taco. I go on what I call a taquesta, which is a quest for tacos. And I'll just go like try a new taco stand or whatever. And I get such happiness and joy out of that, like more so than, you know, spending a bunch of money on a fancy bag or whatever.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think having that childlike sense of wonder, or in your case, like what you were saying, I think all of that excitement it makes your baseline lift, just like little things. And, you know, to be clear, I do have ADHD. And so you do have to find little bits of excitement throughout the day.
Yeah.
But I think that's true for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. And so I have been trying to implement a little bit more excitement into my life, like,
Yeah,
and
what are
just
some of
like
your pro
trying to
tips?
be excited. I mean, I think when I'm just like planning out my day, I'm like, oh, this would be something I would be excited to do. Like
Yeah,
later, I'm going to yoga and the sauna, and I'm
yeah.
excited to go. And so I think just like putting those things in my day, or even just like being excited about the general things that I have going on. Like I'm kind of like I have work tomorrow and I'm excited to go. I'm excited to
Yes.
go have a job. So I just feel like trying to be excited about things and being excited generally makes me happier. So,
I love
and
that.
yeah.
You need to have, and like you probably are already doing that too.
Mhm.
Before you put the nail on the head like that, that's why we plan vacations,
Yeah,
that
right.
that's something to look forward to. Or that's
Yeah,
why we go get a latte before we go into the office.
right.
Because you do need like a little dopamine to go through life like that.
Yeah,
But it's like if you start strategically romanticizing your life like they're talking about online,
totally.
I
Yeah.
think that it helps you feel better throughout the day
No,
rather than just like the one or two things you've got going on.
absolutely.
Put a
Yeah.
little put a little treat in there.
Yeah, a little treat. It's like the lucky girl syndrome,
Yes, exactly.
essentially. Okay, so this next story I thought was so interesting. Hetero-flexibility. Have you heard of it?
I have not, but I am dying to know what this is about.
Okay, so it's a new dating term that's been blowing up. It basically means you identify as mostly straight, but you're open to same sex experiences sometimes. And it's
Oh.
not niche anymore. So now apps like Field, have you heard of
I
that?
have heard of
It's
field.
kind of like a like when people are like experimenting, I guess is that type of dating app.
Mhm.
They are reporting a huge spike in people using this label. So the vibe is basically less strict labels and more
Mhm.
like I'm open to seeing what happens here, you know.
Yeah.
Not really thinking too heavily about gender. And so it's trending because younger people are starting to see sexuality as more fluid, not so fixed, and curiosity is more socially acceptable than it used to be, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I remember even 10 or 15 years ago, like this kind of phrase would be like, "What?" But it is a little bit controversial. So some critics are saying that it centers straight identity while borrowing from queer experiences. And others are
Oh,
arguing that it kind of can contribute to bi erasure. So
yeah.
avoiding labels like bisexual even when they apply.
That's tough. Yeah.
So, yeah. And there's also like a deeper tension too. Like, is it genuine openness or is it just a way to explore queerness while keeping the safety of being seen as straight? So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I guess it's just one of those new hot terms. But what do you think?
I mean, I think okay, this could be a hot take. So
Ooh,
get ready. But
give us your hot take.
I think that that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I obviously don't want to contribute to bi erasure or any of that. But like if that's where you're at in your heart,
Give
I
it a
think we
go.
should be open to like as I'm not even a member of this community, but like as an ally to the community, I'm like, give it a go.
Yeah.
I really think did you see that SNL sketch where it was like an Aritzia fake Aritzia ad,
Yeah.
but they're like I they were talking about getting older and like needing clothes that are oversized blazers
Yeah.
basically. And one of the girls, I think it was Quinta Brunson did it. She goes, "I could be bi, but it's too late for me now." And I feel like there are a lot of people our generation who are looking back on it and being like, "You know what? Maybe I was interested in like dating same sex, but I didn't explore it because it was so frowned upon." And I'm
Hmm.
sure that happened for the generations that came before us.
Yeah, of
And so
course.
I think that if that's where they're at and like people want to explore their identity, freaking go for it and don't let
Yeah.
anyone yuck your yum.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing too about it. It's like even if it's a label, like at least people are talking about it and who cares? Do whatever you want,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of
And
how
I
I
think they're
feel.
doing it like in a way that's meant to be a little tongue in cheek. Like
Hmm.
it's a silly little term. It's kind of like how we're calling white Asians Wasians now. I say
Yeah.
this as a Wasian. Like I think that's fine. Like we're
Yeah.
doing it tongue in cheek. It's like tinged with irony.
Yeah.
And it's meant to be something that brings people together and is
Yeah.
welcoming rather than exclusionary. And I think that's when you look at like any term, you should be exploring it for on its surface level, is this meant to be exclusionary or is it meant to include others? And I think it's more the latter.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Get us into this next story.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Have you heard of confidence theater?
What is it?
It's this workplace trend where you basically pretend to be more confident than you actually feel. Essentially, it's another word for faking it till you make it.
Okay.
So you just act like you have all of the answers instead of asking any questions. And evidently, 66% of workers say that they feel pressure to do this.
Yeah.
The problem is, of course, it can hurt your career. You're more likely to make mistakes. You probably will burn out. You can lose credibility when you're wrong. or if your results like don't match the general vibe of what they were going for, you should have
Yeah.
asked questions. So experts are saying that the smarter move is to actually just be honest, say you don't know, ask questions, lean on people, that sort of thing. But confidence theater, that's what
That's
they're
interesting.
calling
Look,
it.
I mean, you look at every high level executive in the country and they're all performing confidence theater. Like, I
Yeah.
think it really depends what level you're at, because if you're at a lower level, of course, you're free to ask questions. You're not really expected to know that much. But if
Yeah.
you get into a position of power, or you maybe have people that you're overseeing or teams that you're overseeing, you really can't ask questions, because then it's like, wait, you don't know what you're doing and we're paying you how
How
much, and
much?
you're in
Right.
charge of how many people.
Yeah.
So I definitely think it depends what level you're at. But I think a degree of everybody should practice confidence theater, because if the people at the top are doing it, that's how they got there. And so like the people at the
Yeah.
bottom should pretend like you know what you're doing and figure it out. If there's something you don't know, I don't know, Google it before you show your hand and pretend like you don't know things. Obviously, if you have coworkers that you really trust and can ask questions, I think it's important. And also, like, I think it's important to ask questions because the people above you want to know that you're curious and want to get the answer right as
Yeah.
well. But I do think like there is a degree of this that we all should be doing, because we want to look like we're competent in our jobs and
Right.
are able to be promoted, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a fine line.
Totally.
You don't want to seem like a person who's not curious or interested in that growth mindset that everybody always talks about in the office.
Yeah.
But you also don't want to be like that dumbass who doesn't know anything, who
Yeah.
asks the question, like, how do I get into Word or whatever?
Wow.
Everyone would
Outlook,
be so
yeah.
annoyed with you. And
Yeah.
if you ask the same questions over and over again, like you're constantly being locked out, or I
Yeah.
don't know, your laptop won't connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Sorry, my laptop won't connect to the Wi-Fi in this building, so it's like a running gag. But it's like if you are constantly asking the same questions, then people are going to get annoyed. So
Right.
there is a difference between being overly confident, having a growth mindset, and also being an idiot who asks too many questions. You
Right.
gotta thread the needle.
Right.
And this is true for
definitely
men
agree.
and women, by the way.
Yeah. Well, and I think women especially face a lot of pressure in the workforce to look like they know what they're doing,
For
because
sure. I find that men often
standards are higher.
have a lot of bluster too. I think women are slightly more humble usually, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so this next story is another dating term called grim keeping.
Okay, grim keeping.
Do we know? Have we heard?
I have not.
Okay, I'm about to educate ya. So, grim keeping is a new dating strategy that emphasizes people pairing up based on dislikes and hatreds, rather than focusing on finding a partner who shares your likes and loves.
Okay.
So, our modern world seems to have gone to this negativity binge,
Yeah.
especially in the past few years. And grim keeping, this approach, kind of fits with that rubric, right?
Yeah, it's like these are dystopian times.
Yeah, it's like I guess these people are dating people that have the same hatreds.
Sure, it's like you could date someone who also loves pad thai, or you could date someone who also hates Donald Trump. Like,
Right.
who's to say which is more bonding?
Right. That's really interesting. I do feel like if you start dating people based on your dislikes, though, like there's a dead end to that, right?
Yeah, I think I mean,
I guess you could continue your negativity spiral.
I was gonna
but-
say, yeah, I guess I do hate a lot of things. Like, I don't know. The limit
Yeah.
does not exist, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it will be hard to be around two negative Nancys all the time.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
if you come together through your shared hatred of soming, like, where does that? That's
You
not
have to
exactly a good leg to
eventually
start out on.
Find something that you both like.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, what are you going to talk about all the time? Good Lord.
Yeah, that's tough.
Grim keeping.
Grim keeping.
So funny.
On the rise.
Okay, this is another story I really am excited to talk about because
Okay.
I think you will have a hot take.
Great.
Okay, dating today often feels like no effort, no connection. People are ghosting, they're dead ends and burnout. Okay.
Ugh, don't
This-
remind me.
Yeah, this company Yeet, Yeet,
Mm-hmm.
they are taking a different approach. At the center of it is this AI dating agent called Yita.
No.
And it is designed to join the chat and help conversations flow naturally.
No. So I have to call Yita in for backup.
Yeah, basically it like acts like a social buffer in the moment, and it eases awkward silences and helps like people find their rhythm in a chat.
Hey, Yita, he's not responding. Can you get him to respond?
Yes. Like they go into this like vibing chat, the two humans do.
Okay.
And you can talk and like feel it out in real time. And then like the experience is meant to keep things moving so things don't like fade out.
I mean, look, I actually see the usefulness in this because
Right.
there are so many times I will match with a guy on a dating app. It'll be like, "How are you doing? I'm good. How are you doing? I'm good." And then it's like, okay, well, one of us has to push this forward. And I typically I'm like, you are a man and you probably, if you're interested, you should push this forward.
Yeah.
So I do feel like I could see the definite pros in using this, but I feel like what a weird discussion. Like both people have to be on board to call in backup from Yida, right? So I mean, I do think it's a little bit weird to be like, hey, looks like we can't connect as humans. Maybe we could add a robot and see if she could get the flame going. Like, I do think it's a bit strange.
You know,
But maybe great.
I don't like hate it because
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes you do need that push to keep engaging with someone who you might have like let go just
That's
because you
fair.
weren't like focused on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'll be honest, I met my husband on a dating app and
Mhm.
like it wasn't that I wasn't interested. It's just like a lot to manage when
Yeah.
you're like working and doing whatever. And he was very persistent in that he would keep
Oh.
messaging me or, you know, I feel like a lot of guys are like, oh, any big weekend plans? If I
Yeah.
never am asked if I have any big weekend plans again, I'll be okay. But like he was really good about it, like, coming back. And I just
That's
think that
good.
they're in
That's
this
good.
distraction economy.
Yeah.
There are so many things that you can get distracted looking at
100%.
that having a little thing that's like, ping, hey, so-and-so's online now. You guys should go chat. Is
Yeah.
not like the worst of fates.
No, it's actually, I mean, I do think it sounds great, but I just like in practicality and like the actual logistics of being like, hey, come on in, Yida. I think that's where I'm like, you're going to have to like bridge the gap and tell the man that we're getting a robot involved, you
Right,
know?
exactly.
And then it's at that point, it's just like, well, we should probably just try to make this work ourselves. And also, it's like if we're involving robots in so much of our lives, like we are still going to have to meet up and be humans together. So,
Right.
like, when do we take the robot out, you know?
I think
Do
you
we
take
bring
the robot
Yida?
out in real life.
Do
Yeah.
we bring Yida to the picnic? You know? Do we say, Yida, you sit here?
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
this is awkward. So, Yida, do you have anything to bring to the combo?
right. Well, I mean, so you don't have to notify them because it's all on the Yeet app. So they are already going into this knowing that the app is going to be like,
Oh.
hey, what's up? Vibe check. Like, hey, you there? Like, get in there, guy.
Oh,
You know what I
that's
mean?
interesting.
So
Okay,
you don't have to notify them.
So I hook up my dating apps to Yida?
No. The app is Yeet, and the you know how Duolingo has like a little owl. They have
Yeah.
like this little Yeeta.
Oh, so it's a new dating
guy.
app.
Yeah. It's a new dating app, and the agent tells you to like get in there.
Got it.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like an add-on to the app.
Oh no, that would be cool, but I don't know how it would. There's probably too many platforms to figure that out on.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yeet, it's the new dating app.
Yeet, new dating app with
it's like the one that's
Yeeta,
like-
who will be like, "Hey, what up, girl? Get in there,
Get in there,
chop
girl.
chop, go find your husband."
Yeah, the game just begun.
Yeah. It's your like little coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Warm up.
So do you hate that still? Or do you like it? What are your
I think
thoughts?
I could like it. I mean, look, I don't want to get another dating app. I'm already pretty diversified in my dating app profiles. You know, it's like my stock portfolio. I'm diversified.
You're diversified, yeah.
I have the Raya. I have the Hinge. I'm just like, do I want to add another? No. But I do think it's interesting. And maybe if times get so tough, which they've gotten tough before, maybe I'll join Yeet.
Yeah, who's to say?
Who's to say?
We love it.
Well, wow, what a fun week.
What a fun week. This was very chaotic.
Wow. We love Jack in the Box, though, I'll tell you that.
We do love Jack in the Box. Thank you so much to Jack for this special gift.
Oh, we
And
love
Small
you.
Girl PR, we love you.
Happy 75th, by the way.
Yeah, looking great for 75, honestly.
Wow.
Really, and not even retiring. Slay.
Seriously, if you guys could like and subscribe, we would love you forever. And we'll see you next week.
For sure. Tell your friends. Bye.
Bye.